Welcome to our channel United Coaching. Today we will discuss questions in science and technology. Our question is, first Indian to travel in space was, so answer is Rakesh Sharma was the first Indian astronaut to travel in space. Kalpana Chawla was the first Indian origin US citizen to work in space. Our question is, first human to travel in space was, so answer is Yuri Gagarin. Russian cosmonaut Yuri Gagarin was the first human in space with the 108-minute orbital flight in his Vostok 1 spacecraft in 1961. Our question is, first animal to travel in space was, so the answer is Laika, and it was a dog, and Laika was the first animal to orbit the Earth, traveling on board the Sputnik 2 spacecraft launched on 3rd November 1957. Our next question is, what is the difference between natural satellite and artificial satellite? Natural satellites are heavenly bodies revolving around a planet in their fixed orbits, and they are made of rocky mountains or gas. And artificial satellites are man-made bodies fitted with sophisticated instruments and cameras, and are made to rotate around their planets in a prefixed orbits, and they are launched using rockets in the orbit around the planet. Our next question is, the first artificial satellite was, so answer is the Sputnik 1 was the first artificial satellite successfully placed in orbit around the Earth and was launched from Baikonur Cosmodrome in Tyuratam in Kazakhstan, which was then a part of the former Soviet Union. Our next question is, first US satellite was, so answer is Explorer 1 was the first US satellite, and the satellite was launched on January 31st 1958 from Cape Canaveral, Florida in USA. Our next question is, first Indian satellite was, so answer is Aryabhatta was the first Indian satellite launched on 19th April 1975 by the Russian rocket Soyuz from the Russian launchpad at Baikonur. Our next question is, which was the first launch vehicle of India? So the answer is Satellite Launch Vehicle 3, that is SLV-3 was the first launch vehicle of India, and its launch took place on July 18th, 1980 from Satish Dhawan Space Center SHAR, which is in Andhra Pradesh. Our next question is, which country has the most number of satellites? So answer is, there are around 2062 active satellites orbiting the Earth as of March 31st, 2019, and out of which 901 belong to United States, and the second most, that is 299, are from China. Our next question is, where is NASA located? So answer is, NASA headquarters is in Washington DC. Our next question is, how many centers does NASA have? So answer is, there are 10 NASA field centers across America. Our next question is, where is the primary launch center of NASA located? So answer is, the Kennedy Space Center located in Merritt Island, Florida is the primary launch center of NASA, and KSC, originally known as the NASA Launch Operations Center, is one of the 10 National Aeronautics and Space Administration Fields Center, and since December 1968, KSC has been NASA's primary launch center of human spaceflights, and KSC is where the Apollo moon rockets were launched from. Our next question is, why is Cape Canaveral an important place of NASA? So answer is, Cape Canaveral is located in Florida near Kennedy Space Center, and all the unmanned rockets which launches the satellites and probes to other planets are launched from the Cape Canaveral Air Force Station, that is CCAFS, and Cape Canaveral is generally not open to public as it is the active military base. Our next question is, where is the primary launch center of ISRO located? So answer is Satish Dhawan Space Center, that is SDSC, or Sriharikota Range, that is SHAR, is the rocket launch center or spaceport operated by ISRO, that is Indian Space Research Organization, and it is located in Sriharikota in Andhra Pradesh. Now Sriharikota Range was renamed in 2002 after ISRO's former chairman Satish Dhawan. Our next question is how many ISRO centers are there? So answer is there are 6 major centers and several other units, agencies, facilities and laboratories spread across the country, and the names and locations are as follows. Vikram Sarabhai Space Center is located in Tiruvananthapuram. ISRO Satellite Center is located in Bengaluru, and Satish Dhawan Space Center is located at Sriharikota, and Liquid Propulsion System Center is located at Tiruvananthapuram, Bengaluru and Mahendragiri, and Space Application Center is located in Ahmedabad, and the last one is National Remote Sensing Center is located in Hyderabad. Our next question is how many satellites India has launched so far? So answer is India has launched total 319 satellites for 33 different countries. Our next question is ISRO has launched satellites for other countries. Which are those countries? So answer is in February 2017, ISRO has created a new record by launching 104 satellites in single launch by PSLV XL, and out of that 96 satellites were from United States, while the others were brought in from Israel, UAE, Kazakhstan, Netherlands, Belgium and Germany, and it remains the largest number of satellites launched on a single flight by a space agency. Our next question is how many India-made satellites are launched by ISRO? So answer is 118 Indian satellites have been launched so far since 1975. Our next question is who is known as the satellite father of India? So answer is Dr. Vikram Sarabhai. Our next question is who is considered as the founding father of Indian space program? So answer is Dr. Vikram Sarabhai is considered as the founding father of space programs in India, and he was also the first chairman of ISRO. Our next question is who is called the Rocket Woman of India? So answer is Ritu Karidhal Srivastava is referred to as the Rocket Woman of India, and she is an Indian scientist working with ISRO, and she was the Deputy Operations Director to India's Mars orbital mission Mangalyaan. Our next question is what are the different types of satellites? So answer is there are 9 different types of satellites. So they are as follows, that is communications satellite, remote sensing satellite, navigation satellite, geocentric orbit type satellites, global positioning system that is GPS, and geostationary satellites that is GEOs, drone satellites, ground satellites, polar satellites and other lesser known satellites such as nano satellites, CubeSats or small sats. Our next question is what is a communication satellite and remote sensing satellite? So answer is a communication satellite usually operates from the geosynchronous orbit, catering to the requirements in communication, television, broadcasting, meteorology, disaster warning, etc. And a remote sensing satellite is intended for natural resource monitoring and management and operates from a sun synchronous polar orbit, that is SSPO. Our next question is how many satellite launch vehicles are developed by India? So the answer is India has developed a series of launch vehicles, or also known as rockets, and they are as follows, that is SLV, that is satellite launch vehicle, ASLV, that is augmented satellite launch vehicle, PSLV, that is polar satellite launch vehicle, GSLV, that is geostationary satellite launch vehicle, and the GSLV is the vehicle to mainly deliver the communication satellites to the geosynchronous transfer orbit, that is GTO. Our next question is what is the full form of RS D1 and D2 satellites? So answer is Rohini satellite, and the D1 and D2 are the third and fourth satellites in Rohini satellites series. Our next question is what is the full form of IRS satellite? So answer is IRS stands for Indian Remote Sensing Satellite, and IRS-1C and IRS-1D are the second generation remote sensing satellite, mostly used for scanning of Earth with enhanced capabilities in terms of spatial resolution and spectral bands. Our next question is what is the full form of INSAT? So answer is INSAT stands for Indian National Satellite System, and it was commissioned in 1983, and it is the series of communication satellites. Our next question is what is Chandrayaan 1? So answer is Chandrayaan 1 was the first Indian lunar probe under the Chandrayaan program, and it was launched by the Indian Space Research Organization on 22nd October 2008 from the Satish Dhawan Space Center at Sriharikota, India, and it was operational for 312 days till August 28, 2009. Next question is, what were the Chandrayaan's scientific goals? So answer is, there are 11 scientific instruments on board Chandrayaan 1 spacecraft, and their goals were to prepare a three-dimensional map of both the near and far side of the moon, and also to prepare the chemical and mineral distribution map of the entire lunar surface. Our next question is, where are the satellites made in India? So answer is, satellites are made at the ISRO Satellite Center, that is ISAC, in Bengaluru. Our next question is, where are the rockets or launch vehicles made in India? So answer is, the rockets or launch vehicles are made at the Vikram Sarabhai Space Center in Thiruvananthapuram. Our next question is, how do satellites orbit the Earth? So answer is, a satellite maintains its orbit by balancing two factors, that is its velocity and the gravitational pull from Earth. And without this balance, the satellite would fly off into the space or fall back to Earth. And the satellites orbiting closer to the Earth requires more velocity to resist the stronger gravitational pull. Our next question is, what are the types of orbits of an artificial satellite? So answer is, satellites orbit Earth at different heights and at different speeds and along different paths. And the two most common types of orbit are the geostationary orbit and polar orbits. Our next question is, what is the difference between geostationary and polar satellite? So answer is, a geostationary satellite travels from west to east over the equator, and it moves in the same direction and at the same speed, at the same rate that the Earth is spinning. And from Earth, when we see a geostationary satellite, looks like it is standing still, since it is always above the same location. And polar orbiting satellites travel in a north to south direction from pole to pole, and as this Earth spins underneath, these satellites can scan the entire globe one strip at a time. Our next question is, do satellites crash into each other? So answer is yes. In February 2009, two communication satellites, one from America and one from Russia, collided in space, and this is the first time two man-made satellites have collided accidentally. And the collisions are rare when a satellite is placed in an orbit designed to avoid other satellites. But orbits can change over time, and the chances of crash increases as more and more satellites are launched into the space. Our next question is, what happens when the satellite runs out of the fuel or battery? So answer is, dead satellites that are in lower Earth orbit gradually burn up into the atmosphere, whereas the higher orbit satellites remain in space as a junk for years before they enter the atmosphere. Our next question is, how long will a satellite stay in orbit? So answer is, between 5 to 15 years. A satellite has a useful lifetime of between 5 to 15 years depending on its location in the space. The satellites in the very low end of their orbit typically stay up for few weeks to few months, and gradually they run into the atmosphere, and due to the friction they will basically melt. But at the altitudes of around 600 kilometers, where the International Space Station orbits, the satellites can stay up for decades.